Shipwrecked. Plan of action. Discussion topics. What is going on? Well, an economic problem is the problem that an economy's finite resources is not enough to satisfy everyone's wants and needs. We're in the same situation on this island, and we need to make wise decisions to make our finite resources last as long as possible. Opportunity cost is the loss of other alternatives when one alternative is chosen. What are you giving up? Opportunity cost is a big factor in making decisions. We need to make the right decisions in order to make our resources last as long as possible. For example, if you were offered a chocolate bar or a lolly, which would you take? It depends on your personal preference, and the one that you're giving up is called the opportunity cost. With a degree in economics, I have been trained to respond well to these types of situations, so I should be the one to take charge. Our goods and services should be split fairly evenly. However, the two people with injuries should receive more help than others, as they need to recover. If this means they don't get as much labor work to do, or they get more food at the campfire at night, so be it. Once they recover, they should pick up the ball. The things that we produce we will not intend to consume straight away, but eventually will be to prevent it from going off, and so there's enough until we get off the island. If the food has a risk of going off, we can preserve it for the coming months. These are our resources, categorized into 4 categories: land, labor, capital, and enterprise. Now, what should we do? Our needs are our top priority, and so first we should satisfy those. Water needs to be collected, shelter needs to be built, food needs to be found, and a fire needs to be created. The opportunity cost of all of these is far greater than the alternative, as these decisions are life or death. On day 2, we should continue the water collection so that we don't die of dehydration. We also need to stabilize the shelter so that it doesn't fall on us in the middle of the night. A fishing rod can be made to catch fish, and a flare on the beach can be used to get boats and planes' attention that people are on the island. On day 3, water needs to be collected. This is an ongoing pattern that should be repeated daily. Shelter comfort should also be implemented, as it is a small luxury that the whole group needs. More food should be located so that a small stockpile can be created. Additionally, the injuries of the 2 people should be treated so that they don't become permanent. A waterproof shelter should be built by now to make sure we get a good night's sleep. The flare should also be extended so that we catch the attention of boats and planes from a further distance. In the second week, the shelter should be completed. Any leakages should be patched as they come and shouldn't need major renovations. A canoe can also be started to make for fishing needs and scavenge the boat wreck. In week 3, the food supply should be growing. Most of the surrounding bushland should be explored, and if there's a better spot to camp, we should move there. However, it shouldn't be too far from the beach, because if a rescue was to come, we could miss it. In the first 3 months, to improve health levels, we can make fishing gear for the whole group, so that we can have plentiful meals and energy for the next hours. A trail between the water source and the camp could also be made to limit the walking distance to collect water, along with buckets and shoes that can be made to carry more water back. Finally, a second camp could be made to split the sleeping quarters. 3 could sleep in each camp, which would be more comfortable for the whole. If luck really hits us hard, we can make a boat to sail across the ocean with. Whoever large the Pacific is, we're bound to find land at some point. However, this is the last resort and shouldn't be used unless an emergency outbreaks, such as disease or invasion or insanity sets in. To conclude, we should be on course for a low-risk plan of action. The situation isn't the best and should be improved upon as time goes on. We should all be able to escape the island alive.